All right. Let's see. All right. So, hands are next. Hello there, Skyla. Oh, I got a nasty headache. I might need to get some water. Did drink some already. Ugh. Alright, so this should go pretty significantly faster. Keyword being should. But the nice thing is, I don't have to worry about correcting his color or anything like that. I just need to go through and do this. Eventually I'll need to do the fingers, because the fingers are a different color. But that's okay. The legs should go fast as well, because they're all one color. This is definitely going to be a little bit more of a mess than I anticipated. Dang it, hold on. Thought we were okay here, but I need a little bit. But that's okay. That's kind of what the style is going for. We'll see how it turns out. I think it'll be fine enough. What I really need to figure out is how I want to do like the lighting. Like I was talking about the other day is I kind of want to give him like really dark shadows on his face, just kind of cuz. Despite the lighting, whatever the lighting might be. But yeah, so in this technique, you kind of work big to small, and this is kind of the reason, is eventually it gets much faster because you've already taken care of like the bigger shapes and such, the more complicated shapes. So. And it's kind of funny. That was one thing I didn't really think about is how complicated he's going to be to color. I knew he'd be complicated to draw, but color. This. I have to clean this up. That's better. Oh, coloring isn't too hard. It's kind of fun. It's kind of easy to get into a good groove with it. I didn't really have a solution for this. Technically, this isn't correct. Let me see what the surrounding context is. So we have this frame where it's covered, and then this frame, and then this frame. I'm actually somewhat tempted to just do this. It'll look a little awkward, but it should be fine in motion. That should be fine. You know, it's funny, with all the kind of like fuzz that I'm giving it, it might be kind of fun to process this through. So I have a little TV next to me. It's a little 1981 JVC CX610 US. Let me bring it up. CX610 US. So mine's actually in a better shape than this, but oops, hold on. Let me just, oops, wrong button. Looks like, come on. Wow. Long time since that's happened. Let's see how much progress I lost. Did he even get a chance? Okay, hold on. So I didn't lose any progress. I saved. That's why you get into the habit. Control S. If you're taking a pause or you're like not doing anything, hit Control S. I've learned that many, many times over. But yeah, so this is it. Mine's actually in better shape than this. This is in a little bit of rough shape, but it's a little 1981 portable television. And let me see if I can find like the ports on the side. Yeah, here we are. Oops. And it has something really important. And that is on the side, you can see here. So this is video in, right? This is audio in. But more importantly, over here, this is video out, and this is audio out. That means that this little thing next to me can actually take video in and then put video out. I can't think I don't think, could be wrong, but I don't think if you do video in, it'll do video out. But what it can do is it can receive television signals and then output. And so what that means is I can literally make it look like kind of a Saturday morning cartoon, you know, being broadcast over television wavelength, and then capture it. The only kind of problem is, so you'll notice, like with my my camera's actually capturing composite. It's technically S video, but it's composite video. And what this does is, this little device is it captures it through USB. It's a little jank. So what I might end up doing is I might just capture it through HDMI, actually. Because I have a way to convert back to composite, and that'll clean it up a little bit and not making it like too rough, because it does come out pretty rough if I do it through the composite capture. But yeah, no, this was my favorite little TV. I have a couple of TVs in my collection. Another one in my kitchen actually is a little Trinitron, which is super fun. But this is my favorite. This is my favorite little TV. Interesting. So yeah, and the other really cool thing, actually, since it's being captured via broadcast, it has a dial tuner on it to tune it into the channel. It's not just you press a button and you go to next channel. You have to literally dial it in like it's an old-timey radio. That's his fingers. And in doing so, what you can also do is you can give me a second. There we go. Detune it, just so like the picture is like super fuzzy and super scuffed. And get some really funky effects out of it. Oops. So I've messed around with that a little bit, but it's an actual like analog method of doing distortion and whatnot. You know, all that kind of stuff you see in like analog horror and whatnot. But for real, not like just a digital effect. Which I do find it funny, like, because analog horror usually means like, oh, they're recording this on a camcorder. When, truth be told, like, unless, like, there's a lot of older camcorders that aren't analog. Even though they use tape, it's still digital video. It's just digital video done on tape. So kind of funny. I know it's mostly just like more of a thematic thing, but I always kind of find that funny. But yeah, I might do that just to add a little bit of like extra buzz to it and really kind of sell it as like old looking. We'll see. It depends on how it comes out, if it's too much or whatnot. That's the sleeve. Oops. Now I want to play Kirby. Maybe I should play Kirby on stream. I have All Stars. Great game. Honestly, actually, I would love to do... I'd love to play Kirby on stream, but I'd also love to play Paper Mario again. It's been a good few years since I played that game. The first one. Oh, that's... I forgot about you. And besides, who doesn't love Kirby? How's it going, Jordan? Good to see you. Yeah, there's a couple games I'd like to play. I'd like to finish Soul Blazer. I started that one like a couple years back, but never did get around to beating it. One of my favorites on the Super Nintendo, though. It's a fun one. Oh, I forgot to do all the packing peanuts and the box. Oh well, that'll be fine. That stuff will be relatively quick. Over here. I may actually need to rework the kind of smaller ones as well, because like they kind of change size later on, and so I don't know how if I like that. I may need to make those a little bigger. Let's see. I want to say this is Fear of Dark. Yeah, and Stig apparently, or it's a cover by Stig of Fear of Dark. See, we're almost done with the arms. Nice and fast. I do gotta find a way to simplify his character down, though. Or just don't. He just becomes a pain. I'm the only one having to animate him anyway, so. Actually, I should. Dang it. Okay, well, that's not gonna work. Well, maybe it will. Hold on. Well, no, it's not because of that, but I can. A little bit of that. Okay, didn't matter anyway. Alright. That'll be fine. Thankfully, the palm of the hand, or the, I guess the... What is this part of the hand called? You have the palm, but this whole part of the hand, just like all of it. Actually, don't know. Is this called the hand? I imagine it has a specific name. Either way, that's the same color. So I just need to color the fingers. Oops. Okay. Alright, let's do the legs now. Is that the color of his legs? Interesting. Okay. Oh, come on. Run these one at a time. Actually, I don't know exactly yet what I'm going to do for the background. I have some ideas. Like, I may even take this into 3D and do something. We'll see. It is funny how, like, much fainter the line work is in some places. I think I switched over to the rough pencil here, which, in hindsight, I should have stuck to for... Whoa. There we go. For Grem. And the rest of him. Because I was bouncing between another pencil and that pencil. There will be little details I have to do. That'll take a little bit of time. But this will be nice and fast at least. Oops. Okay. Alright, there we go. Let's do the wing now. We're going to start with that. Yeah, we're going to start with that. The nice thing about the wing is it'll disappear after a while, so... And then I'll need to do the, what's that supposed to be? Whatever. Do the face as well. I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna... Actually, I have an idea for how I can do that relatively easily. It's gonna be a bit of work, but... Wait, what am I doing? I can... hold this here. Oops. Oh. That'll need to be changed. We're getting there. His outfit really comes alive when I put in the little orange trimmings. Gives him kind of this Halloween-esque vibe. I'll probably get around to that today. Okay, so I don't see the wing for a bit till, yeah, about here. Well, it's a good thing I animated him on the walking to the right, otherwise his wing would be in view the whole time. You know, I could maybe like, yeah, so one thing that you can do with character design, if you're like, I need to like simplify this character, or I need to like make things easier on myself, is what you can't take out, obfuscate. And what that means is, in theory, what I could do is, you know, so he has this hood, right, and he has this little kind of shawl taper thing. And what I could do is I could actually extend that, make that longer, make that bigger, and it kind of covers maybe a little bit more of his shoulders. And that could cover up the wing, so the wing only comes out when I want you to see it. Otherwise, it's like tucked away, essentially. I could try to work something out that would allow me to do that. It would also kind of work for his character because he is a little bit like, I wouldn't say like embarrassed by his wing. Well, shoot, that is, I'll have to probably make a compromise, because like he keeps it really close to him because he doesn't like knocking into things. But I don't think that will really actually get in the way of that character trait. It's just like it'll kind of flick out every now and again because he keeps it. He has to stretch it every now and again, right? So, you know, like in this example here, it comes out and like flaps around because he's like all like excited and like things are going crazy. There we go. Things are going like crazy and stuff like that. So maybe I'll do that. It might make things a little bit easier in the future if I'm like having to animate him from the other side. It's like, oh great, now I have to draw his wing and everything. That might be a good way to simplify him. So we'll see. And I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the face. Okay, so for the face, what does that look like? I'm actually gonna... That should be dark enough. Should be plenty dark. Okay, so what I'm going to do... is I need to... figure out a way That's, I gotta up the tolerance about 7. And then that's not quite enough. Try that. We're actually gonna that down. Oh, great. Hold on. If I do just apply the connected pixels, there we go. It'll look kind of rough around here. So it doesn't matter how rough it is necessarily here, because again, like all this line work, you're not going to see any of that, hopefully. Like the whole idea is that it's going to be inset into the line work enough that when I actually crunch the line work down, the line work itself will look like, where is it? There you are. Not like that. Something more along those lines. And so it'll actually cover everything. Okay, so why is that? Oh, the tolerance is too high, probably. There we go. So this might be a little bit of work, because and if I probably won't do the line work or crunch the line work in this program. Maybe we'll see. It's not that big of a deal if I have to go through frame by frame and just change that. But I'm hoping to be able to do it in like DaVinci or something. But it's something that'll come later in the process. So we gotta lower the tolerance again. Boy, that's rough. It is kind of a shame that like I didn't draw it in monochrome. I should have. Next time I do this style, I'm gonna just convert it to monochrome as I go, because that would make selection a lot easier. I would know more about like what the final product is gonna look like, because as it stands, like I don't really know how the line's gonna crunch down, especially on Grem, because Grem's line work is super faded and strange. It's a proper like pencil test. It's not like especially come on. Like he doesn't have a good tie down necessarily, or at least really strong tie down. The tie down's fine. Like everything would be fine for like cleanup. I try really hard because I was a cleanup artist, so I think to myself, okay, what would I want to clean up? And what cleanup comes down to is the more you have to screw around with like off model stuff, the more of a pain it is. You don't want to have to bust out the model sheets constantly. What's up there, good writing music? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that'll be interesting. But the added benefit of that is it means that the line work is really close. Like everything should be, in theory, on model, at least to the best of my ability, which means when I crunch the line work down, it will looks better. Why does the line work look like that? It should be pretty accurate. I guess this line work I accidentally drew in like a gray or something like that. It's very faint. I would sometimes do that. The nice thing is it doesn't really matter. Oh, welcome back there, Devaney. I take it you're good writing music as well then? You write the good music? That's actually another thing I really want to get into. I'm getting closer to the point where like I'm really comfortable with my music setup, which I don't have a great way of showing. One second, I might be able to here. I do. Hold on, let me check something real quick. So I'm mute if I go over here. Why am I mute? All right, whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, come on, camera. Keeps losing power. Yeah, I wasn't muted that entire time, by the way, on anything. So why I did that, I don't know. That's really annoying. Sometimes OBS is like a friggin' pain with audio. Fix something. Am I even back as far as audio goes? Oh boy. I'm back. Okay. Just to test real quick. So if I go to this mode. sound. That's really weird. I don't know why that is. Huh. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I was saying, basically, I just have a bunch of junk over there that I have set up, including a Game Boy that's used for, like, MIDI control. So I want to do, like, music streams and stuff like that for the fun of it. Do, like, live music and whatnot. Have no idea why it's not capturing the audio. The mic is set up, everything's set up. It should work, but apparently it doesn't, so that's cool. I love OBS sometimes. It makes so much sense. But actually, so I went to a not even, it wasn't even like an estate sale. It was just like, it was someone who was trying to get, so I think their husband passed away. They have a bunch of stuff because he used to be big into like radio. He was like an airline pilot or something like that, right? So he has a lot of equipment for radio broadcast, ham stuff, like just crazy hobbies, like big time hobbyist, like amplifiers the size of refrigerators hobbyist kind of guy, right? Like big equipment you see in like old movies and stuff like that, right? And so there's all this stuff, and it's like, what do you do with it? Well, you don't want to scrap it because it's all, for the most part, it's good and has value and stuff like that. So we go out there and we're kind of checking it out, and I managed to pick up a few things. And one of the things that I picked up was actually, it was behind there. It's this big box with a giant dial on it, and it almost looks like a variac, like a big power supply that you like turn the dial and that turns up the voltage. But it's not, because what it is it's a big sine wave generator. All it does is generates a sine wave. It's so freaking picky. Oh yes, yeah, no, it really is. It's so annoying. And so all a sine wave is, basically, everyone knows what a sine wave is, even if you don't. In like movies or like in like little audio displays and stuff like that, in showing you the waveforms, all a sine wave is let me make a new thing. It's just this, right? Only it's cleaner. And you have your grid and stuff like that, right? And your hertz and everything like that. That's a sine wave, right? And it's a very pure sound wave. It's like no harmonies or anything like that. But what you can do with that is you can run it through effects and you can do fun things with it. And that's actually part of how the soundtrack for Doom 2016 was created. Was Mick Gordon, the composer for that soundtrack. He wanted to kind of like play with the idea of like corrupting energy and stuff like that. So he was like, okay, well, there's nothing more pure in sound than a sine wave, right? A sine wave is like the purest waveform. There's no harmonies. What can we do by taking a big old sine wave and just like running it through effects and doing all kinds of crazy things and having fun with that? And so I was like, yeah, I'll take a sine wave generator. That sounds pretty cool. So I've been kind of having fun with that as well. Again, the line work is kind of weird there. Yeah, it's fun to like find that old equipment and see what you can kind of do with it. All kinds of cool effects you can do, creative stuff. I used to love the Doom 2016 soundtrack too. Yeah, I mean it's a very good soundtrack. It's got that real bite to it. Interesting. I guess I have to separate this out manually. Hold on. There we go. Okay. That's a little bothersome. Do something like that. Oh, shoot. Something like that. That should... Oops. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for stopping by there, Daphne. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Oh, whoa. Interesting. Okay, well that works. It doesn't matter much. So. I actually want to go here. I need a W. Okay, this should be a bit more normal now. Do you need a select that? Oops. There we go. Turns out the end was the most annoying part. I'll just fix that manually. I think I can... Nope. Once again. Oh, whoops. Doesn't really matter, but I will just clean that up. That's... Technically, I do need to do the hole in his head as well, so let's do that real quick. Oops. I'll just do this by hand. There we go. I missed it. Oh, it's only 6. Yeah, we've only been going for an hour. That's good. I'll probably go for a couple hours, but we're making good progress in those couple hours, which is nice. Dang it. Always a little bit that needs to be cleaned up. Always a little bit. Oh wow, there's a whole lot over here. Hopefully, is that good? That's not a pattern. All right. Come on. Hold on. Oh, dang it. Of course. There we go. Okay, now I kind of want to do the brass little bell that he has. Oh shoot, that's another thing I need to think about is like sound design and whatnot. So I'll need to like actually get a bell and like kind of think about how I should be moving. He's kind of an obnoxious character, like ironically so. He doesn't mean to be, but he has these like kind of clumpy hooves, you know, so he like stomps around a lot. Oops. But he also has like this bell and whatnot, so he makes a lot of noise. It'll be kind of fun doing the sound design on him. I just wonder if I should do it by hand. Weird. Oh my, dang it, my camera went out again. 1 second. I suspect the wire's getting loose. Probably just need to kind of work it a bit.